You may have heard the story of the boy who flew too close to the sun, but what you're about to see is unlike anything you've encountered. The psychology of ambition and rebellion behind this story. King Minos of Crete was furious. The Minotaur had been slain, the labyrinth breached, and Theseus had escaped. The man responsible for this betrayal was none other than Daedalus, the brilliant inventor who had designed the maze itself. As punishment, Minos imprisoned Daedalus and his young son, Icarus, in a high tower that rose above the sea. The prison was inescapable. No doors, no ships, no roads. Stone walls and endless water sealed their fate. But Daedalus refused to be caged by stone and water. He studied the gulls that wheeled across the sky and devised a daring plan. From feathers and wax, he shaped 2 pairs of wings, one for himself, one for his son. Before they took flight, Daedalus gave Icarus a final warning. Remember this: fly too low, and the sea will pull you down. Fly too high, and the sun will melt the wax. Only by keeping to the middle path will we survive. At first, Icarus obeyed. The wings lifted him high, the wind rushed past his face, and the world spread out beneath him. But freedom is intoxicating. The higher he rose, the more invincible he felt. He forgot his father's words. The sun grew hotter, the wax began to drip, and then feathers fluttered loose. And in an instant, the miracle of flight became a death sentence. Icarus flailed helplessly before plunging into the sea, swallowed forever by the waves. Now that you know the story, let's talk about the psychology behind what happened to Icarus. The fall of Icarus is more than a warning against pride. It's a psychological blueprint of the flaws in human thinking. Second-order thinking. Daedalus didn't just build wings. He thought ahead, predicting how the sun and sea would affect them, looking beyond the immediate reward to the ripple effects that follow. Icarus, blinded by excitement, never considered the next consequence. Overconfidence bias. This is the tendency for people to overestimate their abilities, knowledge, and control over a situation. This cognitive bias can lead to poor judgment and decision-making because a person's confidence in their own competence is significantly higher than their actual performance. Icarus believed he was above risk, that he could push further and further without consequence. This is the same bias that led to the sinking of the RMS Titanic and the death of more than 1,500 people, because the ship was believed to be unsinkable, which led to fatal design compromises, ignored safety warnings, and poor decisions by the crew. False dichotomy. Icarus saw only 2 extremes, flying too low or soaring too high. He missed the wisdom in the balance. False dichotomies limit us into thinking we have only 2 options, when the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. Present bias. In that moment of soaring through the clouds, with the sun warming his face and the world spread below like a map, the immediate euphoria of flight completely drowned out any concern for future consequences. Much like how we might eat that extra slice of cake now despite knowing we'll regret it later. Reactants. Daedalus's careful instructions. Stay between the sea spray and the sun's heat may have felt like a cage to someone who had just discovered the ultimate freedom. Being told exactly where he could and couldn't fly might have made the forbidden heights irresistibly tempting, just like a do not touch sign makes us want to actually touch it. Key lessons from the Icarus myth. So what can we take away from this story thousands of years later? Beware of hubris. Icarus's overconfidence blinded him to danger. Pride can carry us upward, but it also sets us up for the fall. Respect wisdom and experience. Icarus ignored his father's warning. The story reminds us of the importance of listening to those who've walked the path before us. You don't have to listen blindly, but make sure you think through the consequences. Find your balance. Life is going to throw extreme challenges your way. No matter what happens, never get too high, never get too low. Stay even-keeled. The tension between freedom and control. At its heart, this myth is about the human struggle, the intoxicating desire for freedom, and the harsh reality of responsibility and limits. Icarus wanted the sky, but the sky demanded balance. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You are Icarus. Well, not because you're reckless, but because you're human. The same cognitive biases that killed him actually live in your mind. The same overconfidence that melted his wings whispers in your ear. The difference between you and Icarus isn't intelligence. It's awareness. So ask yourself, what sun are you flying too close to? What warnings are you ignoring? What middle path have you abandoned? Your wings are only as strong as your willingness to remember they can break. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And check out the book Unfunk Your Mind, which has 365 such logical fallacies, cognitive biases, mental models, and critical thinking techniques to create the best you. Available on Amazon Kindle and at uymhub.com.